Well, it's a challenging time, obviously. We are lucky at Citroën that in the first part of the year we gained market share, so the brand is really on the move. The main challenge that we have to face, all of us, is electrification. As you know, next year almost a fourth of the cars that we need to sell are electric. It's a big challenge, but Citroën is well placed because we are introducing, with particularly the Citroën EC3, very affordable electric cars. So that will help to generate a natural, organic demand for electric cars in the future.
Because there is a key issue. Those EVs are very expensive, and this new EC3 you're presenting just under 20,000 euros. There's really been a barrier for consumers to get these cars, and we see some Chinese competitors coming in with cheaper models. So how are you bridging the gap? How are you managing to make those cars cheap?
Well, actually, when you look at all the survey, there are three gaps for electric vehicle adoption: the price, the range, and the charging. The price, we really consider now we address it. 23,000 euro starting price for the new EC3. Next year there will be a version at 19,900 euro. So it starts to be very competitive, not so close to the price of an ICE vehicle. Recharge, we have perfectly satisfactory range. We have also fast charging, and then the charging, the infrastructure, it very much depends on which country we are. The countries have to promote, I would say, the installation of charging points.
And we see incentives. A lot of European governments had put incentives to help people buy some of those EVs, and they're starting to roll them back. We saw the latest budget proposal here in France taking away some of those incentives. Is that concerning for you potentially?
Well, to be honest, it's no surprise, because we know anyway that in the long term there will not be any incentive anymore. So if we start to rely on incentive, that's not going to work. We need to be able to have production costs that are competitive even without incentive. Frankly, today we are reaching that. We are narrowing the gap between ICE and BEV vehicles, and we know that in the long term the incentives will disappear anyway.
May I ask you about tariffs? Of course, just a few days ago, the EU saying tariffs up to 45% for Chinese imports here. Are you in favor of those tariffs, or are they counterproductive? Counterproductive for job creation, for the autos industry in Europe, for taking up of EVs and the moving towards net zero target, entering a tit-for-tat trade war? So what's your take on these tariffs?
Well, it's very clear. We shall not rely on the incentives to continue to make tariffs, to continue to make some business. That doesn't make any sense for a very simple reason. It's tariffs, they can come, but they can leave, and they are not present everywhere. I was talking this morning to Indonesian journalists where Citroën is also selling cars. We face a strong Chinese competition. There is no tariff to protect whoever. So at the end of the day, if it's not in Europe, it's going to be in other countries. We need to be able to face the Chinese competition in the same field, which is the production cost, and not to rely on tariff that would make us softer on the fight for competitiveness. And at the end of the day, it's dangerous.